Today, I'm going to be playing the Jujutsu Kaisen mod for Minecraft for 100 Minecraft days. I have one main goal. I want to become the strongest Jujutsu Sorcerer. To do that, I need to defeat all of the special grade cursed spirits and all of the Jujutsu Sorcerers. This is the story of how I became the strongest Jujutsu Sorcerer. It's day one and I started with this Jujutsu book. It lets me select my player type, so of course I chose to play as Yuji Itadori. This grants me a Jujutsu Sorcerer uniform and Yuji's cursed technique. Of course, before I aim for greatness, I first need to grab some wood and get myself some basic tools. I opt to speedrun some stone tools because wooden ones just don't cut it. While strolling around, I found my first cursed spirits, a strange hot dog thing and a creepy centipede. After exercising them with my fists, I got the advancement for Fame 1. Close by, I found a Waystone which I happily took. This will come in super useful later, but right now I need to get myself some starter materials. I mine some coal and iron and head back out into the wild. I exercise a few more centipedes. They drop these weird pellet things that look edible, and I am hungry, but to be safe I killed some pigs for food. I'll use those centipede pellets later on. While getting some pork, I angered another centipede. After I squashed it, I ranked up to a grade 3 sorcerer. It's almost nighttime and I haven't made a sleeping bag yet, so I make myself a furnace, cook up my iron and pork, and make myself some shears. After collecting some wool, I made myself a sleeping bag, which will be useful for skipping the night whilst I'm out and about. However, during my first night, I encountered my first finger-bearing enemy. A zombie had consumed one of Sukuna's fingers. After a rather intimidating fight, I collected the finger and ate it, which of course made me Sukuna's vessel. Shortly after this, I found my first structure, an old house that I would call home for a couple of days. I looked around it and looted anything I thought would be useful. I found some emeralds and some nice iron boots. That was enough fun for one day, so I slept here for the night. On day 2, I exercised some more of those centipedes and then started killing cows for food and leather. I can use the leather to make a backpack, so I'm going to be collecting a lot of it throughout these 100 days. A new structure appeared. It's a cool looking temple protected by some skelly boys. One of them ate Sukuna's finger and shot arrows like a machine gun. After a pretty tough fight, I defeated it and ate Sukuna's second finger. I decided now was a good time to take Sukuna for a test spin. I used cleave to break my way into the temple, killing all the skellies on the bottom floor. I found some gold and iron ingots, some apples, an iron sword, and iron helm in the lower floor's chests. These structures have amazing loot. I destroyed a lot of the upstairs area with cleave. It's a pretty devastating attack. I also found some more goodies, some emeralds, an iron pick, and in the attic, I found my first diamond, some Eyes of Ender, and a sharpness 1 iron sword, and a monastery map. I left the tower a lot richer and found a strong looking cursed spirit, the Cursed Spirit Eye. It had a big AoE shockwave attack that didn't do too much damage, but definitely intimidated me. So I fought it from a distance with my crush technique because Sukuna had already pieced out. After beating it, I got the advancement for Fame 2 and physical ability level 3. Remember when I said I'd be farming a lot of cows? Well, using one of the leather, I made myself a sewing table. To make backpacks and pockets, I'm gonna need a lot of string. I made some sewing spools with the string I currently have and then made some bound leather. Backpack progress has started. Day 3, I felt like heading out on an adventure. I really wanted to find the monastery, but I'd like an easy way to return to my current base. So I want to make some return scrolls, but I need some materials before I can do that. I placed down my day 1 waystone next to my home and headed out to check the surrounding area. Of course, I found and exercised some more centipedes. There's so many of these bugs. I found some sugarcane which I can use to make paper for my return scrolls. During my wanderings, I also found some more coal, which is always useful. And then I saw a bunch of cursed spirits spawning, and I decided that it was time to make use of my sleeping bag. 4 days in, and I found another one of those temple structures with a herd of cows for me to harvest. Of course, I head into the temple, clear and loot it, and find myself some obsidian, some more diamonds, and another finger-bearing monster. After removing it from this plane of existence, I ate Sukuna's third finger. The temple also had another monastery map, which appears to lead to a different monastery. I left the temple with plenty more holes in my body than when I entered, and close by, I found a village, and whilst farming cows, I achieved a great feat. I activated Black Flash. 4 days of being a sorcerer, and I'm already on my way to being the strongest. After about half a day of navigating and a little bit of paddling, I finally arrived at my new new home, this beautiful monastery. Unlike my previous 100-day videos, I won't be base building in this one. Let me know down in the comments if you'd prefer to see me doing builds during these videos. Anyway, I find a map that leads to an infested temple. I'll definitely need to check that out later, but for now, I spend the night sleeping with my new friends. In the morning of day 5, I check on my villagers to see what trades they have. One has blast protection 4 and the other has unbreaking 1. I can change these in the future because they're not very good. I make myself some return scrolls with the materials I gathered previously and head out to check my surroundings. I spot another structure close by. It's a wishing well. I wish it would give me a way to beat Gojo. Alas, all it does is grant some buffs and debuffs. After making my wish, I crushed a cursed spirit eye and ranked up to a semi-grade 2 sorcerer. I find yet another temple. There's hundreds of these scattered about. Inside, I find another one of Sukuna's fingers. That's 4 of Sukuna's fingers that I've consumed, only 16 left to go. I cleared the temple, finding some more diamonds and some lapis. A while later, I find a pirate ship, which looks pretty sweet. Is that the Thousand Sunny? Underwater, the skeletons perform a little dance for us. I think their form was pretty bad, so I let Sukuna deal with them. Of course, Sukuna's overpowered techniques make quick work of the ship. I am rewarded with some nice treasure, however. Some sparkly diamonds, eyes of ender, and a fancy new enchanted iron sword with sharpness 3, unbreaking 2, and fire aspect 1. Back on land, I find myself confronted with another finger bearer. After moving the zombie to the recycling bin, I ate Sukuna's 5th finger. One hand down. Close by, near a sand village, I spot Hanami and Todo fighting. To make things worse, Toji jumps in. I peace out because I cannot deal with that killing machine. I yoinked the village's waystone during my escape, and in the distance I spot another ship. I didn't want to spend the night here, so I used my return scroll to teleport back to my first base. As mentioned earlier, I do need a lot of strings, so I spent the night killing weak cursed spirits and spiders. After killing this spider, I achieved domain expansion apparently. Thanks, I guess. I also obtained another finger. The monster holding it is no longer with us. 6 down. And now it's day 6. I did some sewing with the string I collected. I made a few more bound leather and I got it all cooked up. While I waited, I made myself an iron axe and a diamond chest plate. Seems like I won't need to do much mining during these 100 days. Ding ding, the leather's cooked up and it's time to make my first backpack. It looks amazing on me. I fill it up with my valuables and I can't wait to start adding some pockets to this bad boy. For now though, it's time to head back home to my new base. On the way, I dealt with any cursed spirits I could find. Guess what I found? That's right, another cursed spirit eye. And after finishing it off, I ranked up again. I'm now a grade 2 sorcerer, baby. Close to home, I found a village. I took all of its obsidian from the blacksmith and took the village waystone as well, which was quickly placed down in my base. I've been in this world for a week now, and I've already got some unpaid interns working for me. I'm not a huge fan of their trades, however, so today I'm going to work on that. After a couple of resets, this villager now offers looting free for 44 emeralds. This is one of the best enchants, so I definitely want to lock in this trade. To do so, I'm going to need some paper. Back at my old base, I had some in my chest, so by using the glorious Waystone system, I went and collected it. And then my brain stopped functioning and I turned my sugarcane into sugar. Back out collecting sugarcane, woo! I planted some of it next to my base for future use, made some paper, and locked in that beautiful looting free trade. The second villager offered me mending on the first try. Amazing luck. This 100 days is blessed. So I purchased a bookshelf from him to lock in his trades as well. I also made an enchanting table and placed it down for future use. With that out of the way, I headed back to the ship I spotted at the end of day 5. I liberated it from the pillagers on board, even hit one of them with a black flash, which is always spicy. I of course looted the whole ship from top to bottom, finding diamonds, some enchanted iron armor, cobwebs, emeralds, you name it. I exercised some new cursed spirits and saved the assistant director. You're welcome. I obtained and consumed Sukuna's 7th finger, killed Shigemo, the sword curse user, saw my first domain, it belonged to Mahito, and found a new village. I end off the day by killing Juzo, and he has the same pose as when Gojo deals with him, which is just a lovely feature. And day 8, I'm exploring. Found a new town, took its waystone, and then bam! Huge towery dungeon spotted. It looks really impressive. Maybe the owner is compensating for something? I busted my way in to see what I'm working with, but I'm not ready to commit to exploring this place just yet. Instead, I put down the waystone I yoinked earlier and headed back to my base. I prepared to tackle the dungeon by cooking up some of the meat I've collected. Then I gather some wood from the birch forest forest next to my base. It's always good to have some wood. On day 9, I used some of the wood I collected to make fences, and I tried to villager-proof my base a little. I'm scared monsters can reach my villagers, and my villagers can probably also escape if they want to. I also harvested string from the cobwebs I collected, and then I had a genius idea. I need a source of income, so I'm going to make myself an iron shovel and head out to collect some flint. Can you guess where I'm going with this? I need a fletching table so I can trade sticks to my unpaid interns. It's beautiful. Deforestation will now fund me forever. Also did a bit more idiot proofing of my base because you can never be too safe, as we'll find out later. Back at the dungeon now, and it's time to see what's inside. The first room has a bunch of bookshelves, so I collect as many books as I can from them. I found some emeralds in this chest and headed through the tower, clearing each floor and destroying the mob spawners. In hindsight, I could have probably used this as a pretty good mob farm. Ah well, time to sleep with a rather lovely view in this dungeon. 10% of the way done, I found that these towers have quite a lot of lapis, which will be great for enchanting later on. I managed to reach the top of the tower and had to fight some phantom riding mobs. The loot up there was alright. Plenty of gold and iron, which is always useful. I did a bit of parkouring across the roofs and spotted a terrible sight, Sukuna. So I ran because I'm not ready to deal with him just yet. I did find some more emeralds while running, which is always nice. I also found my first golden apple and then proceeded to mess up my jump, hurling myself off of the tower to certain death. Just kidding, Jujutsu Sorcerers don't fear fall damage. I'll be honest with you, I was too lazy to climb back up there, so I headed home. While there, I was looking at my treasures, and can I just say I'm doing pretty good for day 10. To celebrate, I gathered some wood. Great for making profit, but this time I actually wanted the wood to make some bookshelves. I now have a maxed out enchanting setup. I tried my luck with my diamond chestplate I made earlier. I enchant it with Thorns 1, and then disenchant it to try again. I was hoping to get protection 4, but I wasn't blessed this time. Day 11, I made some more bound leather. Gonna get those pockets sooner or later. Then it was time to head back to the dungeon. I spent a little while there and carried on looting it. I got a few more golden apples and a bunch of other goodies. Feeling content, I left the towers and headed to a nearby Badlands. I managed to rank up again, and now I'm a semi-grade 1 sorcerer. A little while later, I discovered a bandit tower dungeon. It looked really cool, so I headed inside and found lots of gold and iron. Seems like a common theme in these structures. I headed outside and found a nearby waystone, so I activated it. I also heard some commotion nearby. Gojo sensei was fighting something, and I accidentally got trapped in his domain expansion, Unlimited Void. After staring at this JPEG for what felt like 1 hour, I was free and somehow survived, even though I got caught in his cursed technique lapse blue. Oh my god. Day 12 to 14, I spent clearing the bandit towers. It was a big job with lots of great loot, like this enchanted diamond chestplate with Unbreaking 2, Protection 3, and Thorns 1. I obtained a few more of Sukuna's fingers, and did I mention a bunch of loot? Like, look at all of this. I even found a Fortune 3 book, which is just amazing. I had so much gold and iron that I needed to condense it into blocks. It was even better when I got to the top. The loot up there was incredible. Diamonds, diamond armor, some of which was enchanted, might I add. I almost had full enchanted diamond armor by day 14. It was around then I decided to head home. Back at base, I made myself some more sewing supplies and finally made myself some pockets for my backpack. I got them all attached and now I've got so much storage space. Remember those fingers I collected from the bandit towers? Well, it's time to eat them. I've now ate 2 full hands worth of fingers. Now, sleeping bags are cool, but you know what's cooler? A hammock. It lets you skip day, making it night. So I made one of those and the rope needed to use it. I then headed out to look for some cursed spirits to slay. I ended up finding Yuki and she taught me Simple Domain, which was pretty epic, although I'm never going to use it. I killed the curse user Mimiko in self-defense and then somehow got caught in Unlimited Void again. This JPEG will kill me one day. Once free, I spent the rest of the night killing curses. I also started fighting the Cursed Womb death painting Choso. As the sun rose on day 15, I defeated Choso, which gave me Fame 4 and ranked me up to a grade 1 sorcerer. Choso dropped his cursed technique, but unfortunately it's a work in progress, so it doesn't do anything yet. I tested out my hammock, which of course made it nighttime. I got into a fight with a finger-bearing special grade cursed spirit, which is a mouthful to say. I obviously destroyed it and ate the finger it dropped. I'm now up to 11 fingers, only 9 left. After this fight, I was feeling a bit confident, so I took on the special grade cursed spirit, Mahito. I tried my best to keep my distance because he deals a lot of damage. Once I beat him, I became a special grade sorcerer, the highest ranking Jujutsu Sorcerer. I also got Mahito's curse technique, which is pretty strong. It has some fun moves. I tested out Idol Transfiguration on Juzo, worked a charm. I then got my hands on Sukuna's 12th finger. A little while later, I was attacked by Iso, the cursed womb death painting. He must be mad that I killed his brother. Well, don't worry, I'll be sending your younger brother to join you both soon. To end off day 15, I exercised the Locust Cursed Spirit. He wasn't very notable. On day 16, I made myself a shiny diamond helmet, and I won't bore you with the enchanting process, but after a little while, I got protection 4 and Unbreaking 3 on it. I bought myself some mending books and made an anvil so I could add mending to my boots and helmet. I dealt with a finger-bearing special grade curse spirit and ate the 13th finger. I decided to head back to the bandit towers. There's a lot of loot left there still to be grabbed, like all of this iron, gold, and diamonds. While there, Jogo decided to use his meteor technique, which destroyed a lot of the tower I was exploring. I made it to the roof of the tower. Of course, I looted all of the chests up there and ran out of inventory space really quickly. So I made myself a bunch of golden apples to clear some more space in my inventory. I spent a lot of the day clearing towers and found a decent amount of good loot, like this fortune free book, this mending book, and some decent enchanted diamond armor. Back at home, I combined some of the armor I found, and I ended the day with a diamond chest plate that had protection 4, Unbreaking 3, and diamond boots with protection 4 and feather falling 4. On day 18, I made an ender chest and ender backpack because apparently that's a thing. Ate Sukuna's 14th finger that I must have collected in the bandit towers and then headed out to look for the infested temple. I had this great plan to convert it into a mob farm. On the way, I found the stronghold basically next to my base, which was so incredibly lucky. After a little bit of searching, I found the end portal room with only 2 eyes in the portal. I added a waystone and will definitely be back there later on, but for now, it was time to head back out towards the infested temple. I stopped at a village for the night. Then on day 19, I found a fisherman's house that didn't have anything interesting in it, a pillager boat which had a few emeralds, a second pillager boat that had emeralds and diamonds, and then an island to sleep on. Day 20, I carried on my quest to find the infested tower, during which I found a waystone on a random island, pillaged another 2 pillager ships, found a new village and activated its waystone, and then arrived at my destination during sunset. I mined my way into the infested tower and started clearing out the first floor. I looted any emeralds I could find and found a room with skeletons that were on the ceiling. I started clearing out the second floor, and that's when I saw it. Wither skeleton spawners. There were 3 of them close enough together to make myself what I thought would be a pretty epic mob farm. Oh boy, I couldn't have been more wrong. More on that in a little bit. For now, I headed back home using the power of Waystones. Okay, so day 21 to 25 is going to be a lot of work on converting that tower into a mob farm. Before that though, I got some more food cooked up and made myself a diamond axe. Wish I had 30 levels though, because it has an efficiency 4 enchant up for grabs. But alas, I don't. So it's time to get working on the farm. Honestly, it was really annoying to work with because I had to keep adding floors to the farm and it took a lot longer to make than I originally expected. I eventually got all the spawners linked up, leading the wither skeletons to a singular point. However, this is where I noticed my first problem. The skellies are too tall for 2 high spaces. So a bit of renovations later and it's now 3 blocks tall. It kind of looks like it's working, and then nothing spawned. Turns out I'm really great at mob farms, so I started messing around with it some more, and after a little while it was kind of working, but it wasn't fast. So I cleared the upper 2 floors. Maybe they're affecting spawn rates, right? We'll find out in just a second. But first, I gotta eat this finger I found. Already up to 15. Oh, make that 16. After testing the farm for a little bit, I can definitely say this farm sucks. I need to stand at the top to activate all the spawners, so I'll have to fix this in the future. On day 26, some good has finally come from the farm. I've already collected 3 wither skulls, which is pretty insane. After a little bit more grinding, I headed back to the village I found on day 20. I wanted the beds and lecterns so I could start expanding my unpaid intern collection. I went home home and put all the beds down, gave my villagers some bread that I collected, and enchanted my diamond axe with Unbreaking 3 and Efficiency 4. I bought a mending book and also added it to my axe. I then teleported to one of the sand villages I found earlier to harvest all their hay bales. More bread equals more villagers. Hopefully these guys will start giving me more minions soon. Day 27 started off with a mending book purchase, which was quickly added to my diamond chest plate. I then traded some sticks for emeralds, which is an amazing source of easy money. I made myself a diamond pickaxe and enchanted it with Unbreaking 3 and Efficiency 4. I also added the Fortune 3 and mending books to it that I found in the bandit towers. I went back to my farm to repair some of my equipment, and in under 2 minutes I was already annoyed at my shoddy workmanship. So I tried to fix it again. By day 28 I had the farm working slightly better, I think. Honestly, who knows at this point. I used it to repair my axe a little and then headed back to the bandit towers to start the curse exercising arc. The Badlands near the tower is where the arc begins. During the night I exercised any spirits I saw. I used Mojito's domain expansion, self-embodiment of perfection, to kill a finger-bearing cursed spirit. Turns out using a domain puts a pretty big cooldown on cursed techniques. I obtained a second finger shortly after and consumed them both, meaning I've ate 18 fingers. It's gross to say out loud. I took on Geto using Mojito and Yuji's cursed techniques, and the fight was pretty tough. Geto has some seriously strong attacks, but I beat him and now I've got his cursed technique. Remember those pellets from the first day? Well, I need to eat those to use Geto's cursed technique. So I ate a bunch of pellets, I collected and unlocked the centipede and cursed spirit eye techniques. The centipede move is nasty. I just shoot them at things. Gross. Wait, what's that? Special grade cursed spirit Dagon wants to fight? He wasn't too strong, but he shoots out loads of sharks, so that's pretty cool. Once I beat him, I too obtained the power to yeet sharks. It's day 29, and I don't know where I got this finger from, but I ate it, and now there's only one left to consume. I found out Geto's cursed spirit manipulation turns centipedes into pellets instantly, so that's pretty neat. You know what's not neat? Special grade cursed spirit Hanami. He's really tanky. Doesn't deal too much damage, but he did make me burn through most of my cursed energy while fighting him. In the end, I beat him, and now I can control the trees. Is it me, or are those trees looking kinda sharp? So, you know I said I can turn centipedes to pellets with cursed spirit manipulation? Well, it also works on rainbow dragons, so that unlocked a Geto's final technique, which I will be using in the near future. I also tried cursed spirit manipulation on a special grade finger bearer. It erased the curse, but I didn't get the fingers, so that's sad. On day 30, I got caught in Sukuna's domain, so I ran as fast as I could. I bumped into the last finger I needed though, so it worked out great. Now I'm a fully fledged vessel. I bumped into Michizane, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's a lightning boy. He deals insane damage with his attacks. I had to use my cursed energy to block most of his attacks and ended up beating him with Mojito and Geto's cursed techniques. Now I can also summon the power of lightning. Costs a lot of cursed energy though. I actually ended up fighting Michizane twice on day 30. This time he teamed up with Choso and they sent me flying into the sky. I decided to use the rainbow dragon I got, and it was a pretty good pet. It defeated Choso for me, but it was then deleted by Michizane. I got my revenge however, so everything is fine. Day 31 I got the bad omen effect, so I can now start a raid whenever I want to. I headed home and didn't realize that my base counted as a village, so I guess it's raid time now. As I left my base to find the raiders, I noticed a villager had escaped. He was quickly put out of his misery by Sukuna's domain. I hope my other villagers survived. The raid was really easy. I can basically one-shot all of the raiders. I got my first totem though, which will definitely come in useful. Back at home, only my mending villager survived. I need to be more wary of invisible Sukunas. I start off day 32 by purchasing 3 mending books. They're discounted because I'm a war hero. Then miraculously, I see a baby villager that survived. I can repopulate my base. I've also got some other plans on my mind. I need to go to the nether, so I make myself a couple more backpacks. It's always better to have more inventory space. I head under my base and make myself a nether portal. I go inside to see what the spawn's like. It's not a bad nether spawn, but I definitely want to put a waystone down near the portal. So for now, I head back to the overworld. I grab a waystone from my base and sleep for the night. For the next couple of days, up until day 34, I spend most of my time in the nether. I made some return scrolls so I can easily teleport back to the waystone I placed near my portal. Now, the nether is even more dangerous with the Jujutsu Kaisen mod installed. stronghold. So many cursed spirits and cursed users spawn. I'm instantly attacked by a finger-bearing curse and ghetto, but lava is my ally this time. While in the nether, I make sure to grab some soul sand. It might help me fix my terrible mob farm. I also find a nether fortress pretty close by. I find the blaze spawner, and after I get 5 blaze rods, I peace out. Now, I got into quite a lot of fights in here. For one, I finally defeated all of the Cursed Womb death paintings. That's right, the youngest brother is no more. I also found and fought Gojo. I fought him as Sukuna because that just felt right, you know? He died after he used his meteor attack. Ironically, I think lava killed him. I never found his curse technique though, which is just tragic. I also defeated Hanami using Sukuna's domain, which felt pretty great. Speaking of Sukuna's domain, he almost killed me with it as well. It let me achieve reverse curse technique level 1 though, so that's fine I guess. Around this time though, I had enough of the nether, so I headed back to the overworld and I found Toji pretty close to home. He's insane, so fast, so strong, and his damage output makes me shiver. I had to protect myself with cursed energy for the whole fight. Eventually I beat him and he dropped the single most important item in the whole game. Remember this moment. I got the special grade cursed tool, Inverted Spear of Heaven. I also unlocked Hollow Purple, so that will be pretty cool to use when I get Gojo's curse technique. On day 35 I fight Yuta, mainly because I want his sword. He's pretty tough, but I beat him and now I can summon Rika to fight for me. One more important thing happened today. I fought Sukuna. I pummeled him with a barrage of different attacks, trying to make sure he didn't have an opening to kill me. He used his domain though, which forced me to switch to defense. But in the end, I beat the King of Curses. And with Sukuna defeated, I have now beat all of the special grade cursed spirits. Let's speedrun day 36. Killed Momo, killed Mekamaru, found a merchant campsite, killed Megami, tamed Nui, tamed Great Serpent, tamed Toad, tamed Rabbit Escape, and tamed Max Elephant, killed Inamaki Senpai, and last but certainly not least, I tamed Megami's last Shikigami. 8-handled sword divergent Scylla Divine General Maharaga. Like saying his name out loud, he was pretty tough. He could even use Black Flash. He also dropped his wheels, so I put it on and I look pretty sweet. It's day 37 and I notice my diamond leggings are almost broke, so I make myself another pair and get protection 4 and unbreaking 3 on them. Of course, I add mending to them as well. I then decide to head to my mob farm to finally fix it once and for all. At least, I hope so. Let's just say it took a little while to kinda get it working. In fact, it took until day 39. I added a water elevator to it, and after a few fixes, I am happy enough with it now. So I went back to the nether because I want to get some ancient debris. Netherite will definitely help me survive against Gojo Sensei. Sukuna jumped me, and while we're battling, Gojo Sensei joined the fight. Once again, I got stuck in his domain, staring at this beautiful JPEG. I survived, and Gojo finished off Sukuna, so it was time for some mining. I did it for about 10 minutes, and I didn't find anything. So I headed home, collected some wood, made some chests, and sorted out my inventory. I also had a little accident and killed one of my villagers while trying to right click them. So now I need to get a new villager from the nearby village. I also steal their beds, obviously. I abduct this kind soul with a boat. It's a pain trying to get him in my base. He even attempts to run home at nightfall. So on day 40 I head back to his original village and break his workstation. This helps me lure him into my base and I get him set up with some stick trades. Operation Repopulation commences. Bread for both of you. Of course, now that I have stick trades, I take complete advantage of it. Money making is important after all. Once done with the villagers, I head to my mob farm to mend my pickaxe. While there, I check my map to see if all of the spawners are working. It looks like if I stand here, they all activate. I've learned a lot about mob farms during these 40 days. Mainly that I suck at making them. I extend the wither delivery system and now the farm works a lot better. I still want to find ancient debris though, so I head out looking for ships to loot for their TNT supply. Instead of ships, I find another village with Jogo hanging around. So I destroy him because he's weak and I finally get his curse technique. Now I can ride on a meteor. Day 41, I find some TNT on a ship close to home, as well as some gunpowder. So I make myself a diamond shovel and head out to collect some sand. I grab as much as I can until night. nightfall. The next day, I found a brand new underground structure close to my base. It's called a foundry and it's crawling with these piglings. They drop some netherite stuff when you kill them, which is pretty insane. The chests, however, had some pretty basic loot in comparison. After looking around for a bit, I headed home and made as much TNT as I could. Day 43 to 46, I spent mining some ancient debris. I placed down all the TNT I crafted, and after setting it off, I found literally zero ancient debris. I decided to try out my meteor technique as a mining method, and honestly, Jujutsu Sorcerers are the best ancient debris miners. Look at all of this goodness. It was an insanely great method. Sometimes I'd appear in a sea of lava, but I could use Yuta's sword to fly out of it. By day 46, I had mined 44 pieces of ancient debris. I headed home and got it cooking. I'm in need of some levels though, so on day 47, I head to my mob farm and kill some wither skeletons. Back at home, I make myself 11 netherite ingots. I upgrade my helmet, chest, leggings, pickaxe, and axe to netherite. Before I upgrade my boots, I combine 2 pairs so my new sneakers have some decent enchants, and then I upgrade them to netherite. Deforestation is happening on day 48, but it's fine because I always replant them. All this wood is turned into sticks so I can make some easy money. With my new surge of wealth, I bought some mending books to use in the future. My librarian also leveled up. He unlocked a book trade, so I headed to the bandit towers to raid their bookshelves. On day 49, I headed home and traded the books I found for emeralds. More money in the bank. One of the babies grew up and I wanted to reclaim my looting free trade. So I spent some time resetting his trades. It took until day 51 to get a looting free trade. It was a painful experience, but I added it to my sword and then upgraded that bad boy to netherite. Looting free is insane. Look at all this meat and leather I'm farming. During the night, I found this cute looking mushroom village. It looked nice, but the loot was nothing to write home about. Day 52 is the day I found my first airship. It looked like a blimp and was filled with redstone supplies. It's also the day I found this mushroom mine. It had a few floors and some pretty decent loot, even some diamonds. During the night, I went on the hunt for curse users. I killed Junpei and Yutaheim. I got trapped in Jogo's domain, but he's weak, so it didn't matter. I killed Mei. Really want her axe. Oh, and I also killed Kasumi. I'd like her sword as well. These days are flying by, and day 53 is no exception. I killed this small dude, Awasaki, beat the bloodbender Niriri, Jesus Christ, bested Maki, and she didn't drop her glaive. Then schooled Nanami, but he did drop his weapon. I tested it out on a finger bearer and really enjoyed the collapse move. Oh, but I'm not done yet. I destroyed Mei, slapped around Mei, still no axe, and to finish it off, I deleted the old man. He's annoying, so he probably deserved it. Back at home on day 54, Jogo was waiting for me. I led him away to save my unpaid interns. After dealing with that, I made 10 eyes of ender with the pearls and blaze rods I'd collected. Chopped down some more trees, and this is where tragedy really hits. Toji, the killing machine, was waiting in my base. He murdered some of my interns in front of me. No! I led him outside, and after a brutal battle, I defeated him. He dropped another inverted spear of heaven. Alas, the damage was already done. I lost a lot of good men that day, even my mending villager. I needed to blow off some steam after this awful day, so I headed out and started by defeating Kugasaki. Shortly after that, I spotted another Toji. Fueled by rage, I activated my domain expansion, Coffin of the Iron Mountain, and then sliced him up with my netherite sword. He dropped another inverted spear of heaven. Remember this, because later on, it will bring me pain. Ah, and of course, I'm still trying to get Mei's axe. No luck so far. The last victim of today was Principal Yaga. May he rest in peace. On day 55, my game crashed while fighting Jogo. When I got back into my world, I fought Yuki. She wasn't too tough though. I also tried to get Kasumi's sword again. I thought looting free might help me out, but she didn't drop it. Shortly after, I was jumped by Michizane. Honestly, he's one of the strongest cursed spirits in this mod. He sent me flying. You know what's not flying though? Mei's axe. That didn't actually make much sense, but yeah, she didn't drop it either, so what are you gonna do? I found a fisherman's house and Sukuna jumped me as I left. Of course, the king of curses doesn't scare me any. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, I transformed into Sukuna, so it's Sukuna versus Sukuna. Yeah, weird, right? But I made sure he was exercised once again. On day 56, oof, this day. Let me tell you about it. I found a new airship high in the sky. I tried to build up to it, but some phantom riders knocked me all the way back to Earth. So, using Yuta's sword, I I flew up there. Hanami was the captain of the ship, so I exercised him, and now it belongs to me. There was some pretty great loot on board. I got some golden carrots and apples, as well as some netherite scraps. Sounds like a great day, right? Well, that's when I found Gojo Sensei. I wanted to test how strong he was, so I tapped him gently. I was instantly caught in his domain. My health disappeared, and there was nothing I could do about it. I stared at that JPEG for what felt like 1,000,000 years. As I broke free, he killed me, but my totem saved me. Now's my chance to run, but before I could get away, he murdered me with hollow purple. I did 0 damage to this monster thanks to his infinity. I was back to square one. Of course, I took Yuji's curse technique again and grabbed some spare armor that I had lying around. Stay tuned because I will defeat Gojo, mark my words. But for now, on day 57, I headed back to my place of death to see if my items survive. It appears hollow purple destroyed everything. Feels bad, man. So, from days 57 to 59, we need a montage, reclaiming my power. I started by looting anything useful from the chests at my infested mob farm. I grabbed a netherite pickaxe from my base, made a sleeping bag, and headed back to the infested temple to clear some of the upper floors. I left the temple with a decent amount of gold and emeralds. Outside, I found Geto. He deals way more damage to me now, but I beat him and reclaimed his curse technique. I started farming cows and horses for leather, exercised Jogo as Sukuna once again, and now reclaimed my fire moveset. Dagon was the next curse spirit to fall. My arsenal of curse techniques is growing rapidly. Inumaki Senpai was the next to give me his curse speech. I found a pillager ship and got some diamonds, which are super useful now. I turned the diamonds into an axe and started getting my villager trades in order. I got a mending villager, efficiency 5 villager, and a stick boy. Of course, I need more emeralds, so I started chopping down my trees and trading sticks. I'm villager proofing my base on day 60. Added some carpets as well to hopefully stop mobs from spawning in there. I head back to the mob farm to grab some of the carpet from there, and while I'm there, I notice my mob farm isn't working. I head downstairs and see that it somehow got destroyed. I start repairing it, and honestly, I'm shocked at how much trouble this farm has caused me. Day 61, I grabbed myself some kelp, needed it to fix the water elevator at my farm. It's now done, so that's a relief. Then an idea sparked in my brain. The bandit towers still have loot up for grabs. I headed straight there and grabbed a bunch of goodies. I needed iron, and these towers always deliver. During the night, I turned into Sukuna and fought Mahito and Yuta. Using my domain expansion, Malevolent Shrine, I tore them to pieces. Now I've got 2 of the most useful curse techniques. I ended the day by killing Mei. Still no axe here though. On day 62, we apparently now have a butcher, so I traded some raw pork with him for emeralds. I also put down some more carpet. Definitely don't want to see Toji in here again. I made myself a new backpack and added a few tiny pockets to it. Going to need more string to finish this bad boy. I bought myself looting free and mending books and then went out near spawn. I raided a pirate ship and got myself some diamonds and emeralds. Not quite the one piece, but it'll do. Day 63, I found a new village, farmed some leather, and then went out exploring the coastlines. Apparently a lighthouse structure can spawn, and I was hoping to find one, or at least some kind of ship. No luck this time though. Instead, I found this huge skeleton. It looked pretty cool, and there was an airship nearby. So using Yuta's sword, I flew up there and got myself some more emeralds, which is always good. The next day, I was exploring some more, farming leather and food whenever I could, and eventually I stumbled my way into a merchant campsite. It had a map that would lead me to an illager campsite. I was intrigued, so I set out following the map. Along the way, I found Maki, and I was hoping to get her glaive, but as you guessed it, not this time. On day 65, I made it to the illager campsite. I looked through the whole campsite, and the loot wasn't that great. I did, however, get a bunch of strings, so that was pretty good. I also found a new village and used its waystone to head back home. Day 66, I cooked myself some food. I'd collected quite a lot of raw meat at this point. I also traded the raw pork for some emeralds. I made myself some more bound leather and sewing supplies, some golden apples, and some pockets for my backpack. I've now got a fully maxed out backpack again, which feels great. The last thing I needed to craft was my trusty hammock. Skipping to nighttime is so good for me. Day 66 is also the day I beat Shiguro again, meaning I've got access to all of his Shikigami once more. On day 67, I'm going mining. I need to get some lapis so I can start enchanting again. I used the same meteor strat that I used to mine ancient debris. I found and mined diamonds for the first time, and after a little while, I also found lapis. I dropped down a waystone at my new mine and headed home. I did some enchanting and got a diamond sword with knockback 2, fire aspect 2, and sharpness 4. I added mending and looting 3 to it, and now I've got a pretty great sword. Day 68, I grinded some levels at my mob farm. Got myself a wither skull as well. Looting 3 makes this farm even better to use. I headed home once I reached level 30 and enchanted my netherite boots with protection 4 and unbreaking 3. I had to go back to the mob farm though because my netherite chest had a protection 4 enchant waiting on it. I stayed there until level 31 and then teleported home. It's day 69 and I'm starting it off nice by enchanting my netherite chestplate with protection 4 and unbreaking 3. I bought myself a mending book as well and got it added on. Apparently my butcher will trade coal now, so we did some trades and I got myself some emeralds. I then headed to my mob farm and repaired my chestplate a little. Remember that tower dungeon from day 8? Well, I went back there and flew to the top with Yuta's sword. I checked the chests and honestly the loot isn't going to help me too much, so I spent the night looking for Toji. I need to get my hands on the inverted spear of heaven. I found him and Gojo fighting, so I tried to help but I accidentally hit Gojo. I panicked so much and used Yuta's sword to fly away, but he's still chasing me. I got away and ended up exercising Dagon. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Oh, Mei, want to give me your axe? No? Okay. I found another Toji though. Time to get that special grade tool that wait a minute. That's Playful Cloud. I guess I can't complain. It's a really cool special grade curse tool. Day 70 and I am loving Playful Cloud. I used it to get rid of Michizane and I was happy to destroy Dagon with it. Really living the canon life. Knock knock, who's there? Toji, but will he give me the inverted spear of heaven? No. He gave me special grade curse tool sword. Well, let's try it out on Mei. It's pretty fast, unlike the time it's taken me to get the inverted spear of heaven. Today I also discovered I'm a monster. I used idle transfiguration on Junpei and I just feel terrible. I went home on day 71 and I dealt with my birch trees. Sticks make me rich after all. Also somehow my godly efficiency 5 intern got downstairs, so I reunited him with his friends and tightened security. No one else is escaping. I also decided it was a great day to expand the stick business, so I got myself some new stick boys set up. To start day 72, I traded sticks with my new empire and got 84 emeralds. Not bad at all. I bought myself a mending and efficiency 5 book, which I added to my axe. I tested that bad boy out by speed chopping the birch trees. I traded the sticks I got for emeralds and those emeralds for a mending book. Lots of trade today. Added mending to Playful Cloud because I love it so much and then headed to the nether. I slapped Mahito around with Playful Cloud and then went to the nether fortress to farm some blaze rods. I collected over 11, grabbed myself some soul sand, and then started mining for ancient debris. You guys know how this goes by now. Meteor to clear a huge area, and then I mine all of that delicious debris. I got interrupted while mining by Toji. This is perfect. I can get inverted spear of it's the sword again. Anyway, I left the nether on day 73 with 16 pieces of ancient debris. Back in the overworld, I got my debris cooked up and craft 12 eyes of ender so I can finish the end portal. Day 74 starts off with some great luck. I get a fortune free villager first try. I trade some paper with him so his trades are locked. I make myself 4 netherite ingots and then head back to the foundry. I want to farm some netherite pickaxes, boots and chest plates. I guess I could try getting good enchants on them, then combine them with my existing netherite stuff. Back at home now and none of them have particularly good enchants up for grabs. I also notice I'm low on lapis, so back down to the mine I go. A little bit of mining later and I have over a stack of lapis. Time to go grind some levels and repair my gear at my favorite place in the whole world. That's right, my mob farm. I kinda wasted a lot of day 75 looking for a grindstone. I searched around a few villages and couldn't see any. Back at home, I upgraded my godly axe axe and sword to netherite, and then made a grindstone myself. Over 3/4 of the way done, can you believe it? I sure can't. To start off day 76, I enchanted one of my netherite chest plates I collected with thorns too, so that I could combine it with my main one. I made myself some more bound leather for a new backpack, and I converted all my cobwebs into string. I made a new backpack, but I miscalculated how much bound leather I needed for pockets, so it isn't quite maxed out just yet. Still has plenty of space for me to use, however. It was around halfway through day 76 that I decided I wanted to make a farm at the foundry. I headed there and found the perfect location with 2 spawners. I stayed there working on it for a couple of days until day 78, and in the end I had an amazing farm that is a beast for gaining levels. Seriously, this farm is amazing. Day 79 was filled with quite a bit of enchanting, from pickaxes to leggings all the way to helmets. I enchanted quite a bit and got some alright stuff going on. I combined some boots together to get a pretty decent pair, minus not having feather falling, and I upgraded my helmet and leggings to netherite. Full netherite once again. To celebrate, it's time to make some money. Yep, tree chopping time. It's so satisfying with this axe. I also spotted Mahito chilling in my base's lower level, so I led him away and beat him up with Playful Cloud. That'll teach him. Alright, so it's day 80. I traded some sticks with my interns and managed to squeeze 87 emeralds out of them. I put those emeralds straight to good use and bought 3 mending books. Now my pickaxe, leggings, and helmet all have mending. I then headed to my new piggy farm to mend my gear. I got there at level 16, and after 6 minutes I was level 40. Now that is insane. Day 81 means I'm running out of time to kill Gojo. I need to act fast, so I head home, enchant my boots with Feather Falling 3, and combine them with my main pair. I also combined the Thorns chest plate with my main one, and I feel like I'm one step closer to taking on Gojo. Next up, it's time to go to the end. Popped the Eyes of Ender into the portal and jumped in. My spawn was okay, I had to bridge across, but it wasn't too far from the mainland. Now, let me tell you, the end is so chaotic. So many special grade cursed spirits and users spawn. Pretty hectic. I got stuck in Sukuna's domain and was forced to fight him. He used domain 3 times in a row. What a mad lad. I beat him, but it drained a lot of my cursed energy defending against it. Mei didn't drop her axe again, but good news, I'm starting the dragon fight. Time to destroy this crystal, this panda, this ghetto, and all of these crystals. I shot my cursed energy at it, which is apparently something I could always do. I even shot it at the dragon, and it seemed to hurt her pretty bad. I wasn't interested in killing the dragon with cursed energy shots though. I jumped on my massive meteor and bonked the dragon on her head. Did about half her health that time, which is pretty nice. So now I'm waiting to do it again. Oh yeah, she escaped with a sliver of health. I got a bit creative the next time she landed and tried trapping her in my domain. Yeah, she just flew straight out, huh? Well, it's time for Playful Cloud to finish her off. And just like that, the Ender Dragon is defeated. Now, let me welcome you to Inverted Spear of Heaven. Hell, that was weird to say. Let's see how many tojis it takes to get one. First one is killed by Yuta. No. Special. Oh, Mei dropped her axe. Grade. Cursed. Tool. Inverted. Spear of Heaven. So, it's day 84. I'm back in the overworld because I was just losing my mind fighting Toji. I'm going to pick on the Wither because it's the easiest fight of my life. This time I'm going to crush it with a meteor. And lastly, time to trap it in my domain while I beat it up with Playful Cloud. I feel much better now. Time to return to the end. While there, I grabbed myself some obsidian so I can make myself an ender backpack. And then I got back to toji hunting. The first one was a letdown, but wait, the second one, yes! We've got it! It's returned to me! Remember how easy it was to get the Inverted Spear of Heaven 30 odd days ago? Yeah, I remember. 15 days left, so I need to make sure I'm ready to take on Gojo. First, I need to make an ender backpack in case it all goes wrong. Always good to have a safety net. Went to my overpower mob farm to repair my gear, definitely needed it. Then spent some time working on my profits, chopping wood and selling sticks. On day 86, I finished trading sticks with my interns and made a whopping 48 emeralds. Alright, I know it's not amazing, but I bought myself this Efficiency 5 book and added it to my pickaxe. As my time in this world is coming to an end, I set out on a little adventure to find some more structures. I come across a merchant camp, but honestly, at this point, there's nothing interesting there for me. Day 87 and the adventure is progressing smoothly. I destroyed an illager ship with disaster flames just because I can, and then I saw these bones poking out of the water. Look at the size of this sea creature. Honestly, glad it's not in the game because I would cry. My best discovery, however, was this airship. Flew up there like I always do and looted it. I got golden carrots carrots, diamonds, and a bunch of healing potions. These will definitely help if I get stuck in Gojo's domain. The next day, I carried on exploring, and by the end of it, I found another airship. And you know what that means? A lot more food and potions for me, baby! There's one last thing I want before I fight Gojo, and after flying around for a while, I found a structure that will help me get it. That's right, I want a Totem of Undying, just to be safe. I spend the rest of the day using my meteor to clear some space around the pillager outpost. Day 90, it's time to get myself the Bad Omen debuff. I kill 2 flag bearers and head to a nearby village to start the raid. Now, obviously, because we're on day 90, the raid is a walk in the park. I finish it pretty quickly and get myself 2 Totems of Undying. I reckon day 91 is the day I rematch Gojo Sensei. Before that, I make great use of my Hero of the Village buff and traded some sticks with my lovely interns. I enchanted the Inverted Spear of Heaven with Unbreaking free and Sweeping Edge free. Bought myself Looting free and Mending books, which I also added to it. And then I got my inventory prepped and ready for the fight. The only weapon I need is the Inverted Spear of Heaven. I head back to the end and I find Gojo. I hit him with my Inverted Spear of Heaven, which forcefully disables his curse techniques. That's right, he no longer has access to his Infinity ability, or his blue, red, hollow purple, even his domain is no more. Using this special grade curse tool, I reduced the strongest Jujutsu Sorcerer to my punching bag. He did somehow manage to catch me in his domain, but it was too late. He was already dead. I am now the strongest Jujutsu Sorcerer. I have Gojo's curse technique as well, so I have a little bit of fun with it, like dropping Sukuna off into the void. See ya, nerd! It's day 92, I'm back in the overworld and I'm searching for new dungeons or structures. I did find this giant mushroom which looked pretty awesome, but that was all I found. Day 93, however, blessed me with this magnificent build. It's a Shiraz Palace, and honestly, it's probably my favorite structure so far. It's huge, looks amazing, and the loot is rather decent. This is especially true at the top of the tower things. They've got diamonds and even netherite scraps. Incredible. On day 94, I felt like playing with Gojo's curse technique a bit. I deleted this grasshopper and created a man-made ravine with hollow purple. Messed up Hanami as well, which, let's be honest, it's pretty canon. Got my revenge on Toji for having bad drop rates and ended Nanami in one hit of hollow purple. This power, oh my god, it's insane. Let's skip day 95 because all I did was run around looking for structures without finding anything. Day 96, however, I found one of those ocean monuments. That has bosses in it, right? So I used hollow purple to remove a big chunk of the monument. After swimming around, I found the Elder Guardian and I quickly dispatched it. I then had a bit of a big brain idea. What if, and hear me out here, there are structures underground like the foundry? Well, using hollow purple, I can quickly carve my way through the underground. Unfortunately, I didn't find any structures, but it was a pretty great idea. The next days, I spent searching for new structures. I've achieved everything else that I wanted to in these 100 days. I didn't find anything on day 97, but I did get into a fight with Sukuna. Apparently, he survives a point-blank hollow purple. The fight was actually a lot closer than it should have been. He drained all of my curse energy and got me to my last row of hearts. I did beat him, but that was just slightly too close for comfort. On day 98, I looked back on my map to see how far I traveled. What an amazing journey it's been. I also found this fancy looking structure, but I didn't get an achievement for it, so I must have discovered something like this before. And now it's the final day. I found an incredible ravine with a sprawling dripstone cave, and honestly, it made me so excited for the Caves and Cliffs update part 2. I then set my last ever Waystone and headed back to the end. I had one goal in mind: kill as many cursed spirits and sorcerers as I could. Jogo, Michizane, Yuki, Mahito, Toji, Choso, Dagon, Maki, and she dropped her glaive? What a perfect way to end 100 days. Alright. I can't see anything.